Racing here. It is Monday. We know what that means. We are doing preset and custom trucks. We are at Iowa. Obviously, Blakey T's name's going to get brought up because he thinks he owns the line there, but I haven't seen the patent pending on that. We do have Paul Bear up here in the booth with us. Thank you again, NRG, starting his job today, getting back and rushing back to get everything set up. But we do have somebody else making their inaugural debut in the booth tonight, Audie-757. What's up, Audie, man? Great to have you up here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
I know for a while now I've raced with you for quite some time, and here in the last month or so you showed interest in coming up here and doing some commentating, and glad to have you up here. Paul Bear, great to have you back here too, man, especially being north of the border. It's going to be a good night, man. I was one of those tricky tracks, simply because, in my opinion, Paul Bear, there's 3 lines you can run here. You can run that yellow line, you can run that second line, and then, well, everybody knows where I run, that HWH, that high, wide, handsome line on the outside. That's right. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't preferably, I would rather be on the low line, but I do have my truck set so I can ride the high line. I don't like the center line because if you hit that little piece in the center there and you're on the throttle, you're pretty much going to spin out.
And again, a lot of people can back that corner up, drive it in, run that yellow line, and make a move to you. But something I do like too is obviously the high line. You can get the drive that you get off of that. Yeah, the drive you get coming up the corners on that high line, as long as you've got your vehicle set up for it, can pull more than 1 car length. You know, throttle control is going to be a big issue here tonight too for these preset guys. Custom guys, same kind of issue, but they're going to have their trucks a lot more set up. Iowa with the tire wear tonight on a truck, you almost have to think these guys are going to run a 9 even on 3 times tire wear, just because you got to get that heavy brake to rotate, Audie.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to run a higher set than you would normally run at another track. You know, I was just listening to Paul Bear talking about like to run the bottom. You know, I kind of like the bottom myself. The only problem with the bottom is you got to watch out for that groove in the track, because if you come up off the bottom and hit that groove, it has a tendency to want to spin the truck.
And look at that. We see Robbie out there. Robbie's claiming that he has a line. There is one person that we all know. It is not necessarily designated as that line. It's just the self-proclaimed Blakey T line. But Robbie line says he's got something else. So Robbie Racing, again, Spaghetti, our European buddy from in the UK out there. T-Bird Gaming, great to have him out there. Denkate, the private himself. We also call him the General. Tom Horton, oh, the one and only Dirty Dog. And as always, the man, the myth, the legend, he's showing up. You know why? Because he doesn't want to get parked. El Parco. Again, we just getting ready. Thank you again, NRG. Coming back, rushing in, changing clothes. He had a hot day out there in the sun, doing some work, getting everything set up. We will get ready to get to this action just as soon as we possibly can. Not necessarily my favorite track, but a track that I definitely don't dislike. Paul Bear, what are your thoughts on Iowa?
I like Iowa, but I'm not real good at it. But I'm hoping in time that I will be. But yeah, it's a good track.
Yeah, same thing with me there, Audie. I don't mind coming here. I just have had some unfortunate circumstances. There's other tracks that I would definitely prefer not to go to, but if Iowa pops up, I am one of those guys that says, let's go. I like it.
Yeah, I like it, but it's one of those tracks you really got to be careful. You're going to have to feather the throttle a little bit coming off of 4 here, because like I said before, the truck really wants to. Some of these guys are going to want to get loose. The truckers are going to kick out on them. So they're going to have to really work that throttle when they're coming off of their corners.
Yeah, throttle control is a big issue, depending upon what line. But at all lines, you're going to have to be able to how soon you can get into it. And the preset guys on the times 3 tire wear step are going to come into a factor for these guys too. Something else that is I'm looking into it now. I think I saw the Cup guys are going to show up at Iowa here next year. And again, I can't confirm that. Something I've read in an article. They race Indy cars here. They race trucks and Xfinity cars here, and it's a fun track. Not necessarily super high bank, but numerous different lines. Short track racing, not necessarily full short track racing like we would think of when it comes to Bristol or Martinsville, but it is a very fast track around here, Paul.
Well,
It is.
I guess while I'm in here, I'll throw some Booger McFarland Thursday night stats. For picks.
Woo!
My idea here would be, you see Iowa on the Cup schedule when they release the 2021 schedule. There's a good possibility that they will race at that track.
That is a Booger McFarlane fact. Thanks for joining in there again. There. I can't even go. I can't even keep going with that. I can't right now. I can't.
Hang out here until the race starts. We're just waiting on one other guy. Mike's on his way home. He's almost to the house now, so as soon as he gets in the lobby, we are going to send these guys off.
Now, this is something else, too. If Booger McFarlane says it, it is facts.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can bank on that.
I also want to throw a shout out that Puddin'. I'm just now seeing your picture on Facebook, and you look cute.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I'm a heart react that.
Thank you, man. Just for everybody else, too, that I may or may not be friends with. Yeah, I went to the pool today. The old lady was at work. Wasn't any good movies on. I went down, soaked up some sun. As always, drank a couple adult beverages of my choice. And I had a pretty decent day, So, no, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that there, Nader.
Yeah.
And Audie, this is your first time up here in the booth. How are you expecting everything to go race-wise, and how do you think you're going to perform? I mean, obviously, we love having new people up here. We've talked about this quite a bit before. You've got a great voice for it, man. But what are your thoughts and opinions on being in the broadcast booth for the first time tonight, taking the race suit off and putting the shirt and tie on?
Well, I've been kind of looking forward to it. I just don't really know what to expect from my end. I'm just going to try and see what I can watch on the track and call what I can call, and hopefully not make a fool out of myself and give something for everybody to enjoy.
Now we appreciate you having up here.
As far as the race goes, I don't know. I think they need to get spread out a little bit, and then we're going to see who's got what. I mean, it's just yet to be seen, so I'm kind of excited to see what these guys got.
I know Iowa is a tire eater, so I mean, as long as they take care of their stuff and do the things right that they're supposed to do, I think it should be a pretty good race.
Yeah, I think getting on a pit road is going to be kind of tricky, especially if they pit a bunch of cars together. So that might be something that I'll be watching.
That is a great aspect too. Coming off a pit lane, you got to make sure you blend, and if there's lap traffic or even leaders, it's going to be very rare to see that backstretch open. And coming on the pit lane here at Iowa's not one of the easiest ones to approach. So yeah, no, good information there. Yeah, I forgot to bring that up.
He's saying 5 minutes. I don't know if the lobby is going to stay up for 5 more minutes.
That's your call. You are the Mr. Ohio guy right there helping us out get these lobbies set up. We do want to give everybody their fair shake here. We do know that family and life comes into play. I did see a message from him earlier today too because of his occupation. He definitely had that hammer down trying to get home to put the hammer down here in NASCAR Heat 4. And while we're waiting too, quite a few guys have had Heat 5 and done some practicing, gotten some setups in. What are your guys' thoughts on the new game?
I haven't even turned it on yet.
I have
Depends on what
played
time
it.
of day.
I've played it a few times. It's a little tricky changing your setups over. They work really well, but your gearing, it's just a little different with fourth gear locked. It's workable. It just takes a little bit of time. The cars grip so much better than 4, I think. They just handle. It seems like the car handles better, and it seems like the game might be a little faster.
I've noticed that too. Again, I'm not necessarily the fastest person on the track at times. I will say that I'm not the slowest, just depending upon. But I've noticed that I've picked up a little bit of speed too in Heat 5, and I'm excited for us to transition from 4.5 here in Gaiety Racing over to 5.0 or Season 5 on Heat 5. And like you said, I know a lot of those guys have been working, like you just said, because of that fourth gear lockout issue. And they
I
found a
heard
way
that that's
around it.
going to be. I heard that that's going to be permanent because that's how they actually do it in real life. Fourth gear is regulated.
It is. They say they tried to make it just more realistic with NASCAR. That's why the reason they locked that fourth gear. What I was kind of leaning towards when I found that out is I wish they would have gave us all four gears and then maybe only gave us three or four gear ratios to work with to set those gears to those gear ratios.
And I knew they do. I know they do that at certain tracks too. You certain super speedways, and even mile and a half. You either have one, that's it, or they give you one or two options. But I like the idea of making people think a little bit more. But again, everybody out there practicing, putting their due time in, they are starting. There is ways around everything with a gear ratio, especially in the transmission.
With me, I just want to get. I just want to keep my focus on 4.5 until it gets over, and then I'll take that week that we have off, and I will totally focus that 100% on Heat 5 to try to get some of my setups and stuff like that in then.
And we see Jackson out there too. Jackson, we know him better as I Am Captain Jack, the self-proclaimed fastest guy in NASCAR heat. On delay, on delay, on delay. Great to have him out there. Then Kate says, "What's up? What's up? Back to you, buddy. Hope everything's going good." But no, I do like that realism into it. But I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. When we race cars, we never really messed with transmission ratios as much as we did with rear. But on motorcycles, there's ways of they regulate stuff, but you can find ways around it. It's not breaking the rules. If it's not in the rule book, it doesn't make you a cheater. It just simply says that you found that loophole. So, and it sounds like a lot of people out there I've talked to here in the last week that have gotten five have figured out how to make that three gear, fourth gear lockout work out. So,
Yeah, it's just putting your time in and trying to figure out what you got and what you need to have. I mean, you might have to give a little bit up on the start to make your car wind up and be fast at the end.
and another guy out there, there's Kim Warbar. What's up, man? Well, we're going to ready to see him here in just a little bit in the custom trucks, driving for the underdog teams. Got himself a couple checkered flags this year, looking really good in points. So thanks for joining in, Ken. Again, we are waiting just for a split moment on one of the preset guys to come back from his normal day responsibilities.
I will say I do apologize to everyone tonight. We do have a backup plan that we are going to get together just because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get home. I will definitely be able to get the custom guys going at the regular 8 o'clock time, but this week was kind of unexpected. I thought I was going to make it home in time, and then I wasn't, and then I was, and then I definitely didn't. So we'll have a backup plan so this doesn't happen again. I do apologize.
Yeah, I spoke with NRG about this a little bit earlier, especially if we can get the other person a little bit more and get him in the passwords and just give him some pointers. It's not teaching, it's not super difficult, but just help him teach and point out on how to do what, when, where. That will definitely I will help up and step out on Monday nights, especially with you having the job NRD, because I know that you've been working so hard too. And then Friday nights, somebody else that I look forward to trying to help out a little bit. Oh, Paul Bear. Paul Bear's going to be hitting that square button on the changing the camera, doing some broadcasting here in the not too near future. So we appreciate you on top of everything that you do for the development series with with Ma Bear. The Bear family does so much on Friday nights, and then to step up and help out with that. Thank you, Paul Bear.
Oh, you're welcome. I'd like to try to do whatever I can to get these development guys shown, because the captains all you guys want to see them as well as everybody else. And Audie's actually going to step up and give us a hand there too.
And that's exciting to hear. I love being in the booth. Everybody knows for a fact I will be here on Wednesday nights. That's nights I've committed to. That's what I'm doing. I try to help out whenever I can elsewhere. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It is nice to have a night off every now and then, especially if Mrs. P's got the night off, so I can help out. Just hang out with her, especially again being a first responder. And let's touch on that. Thank you to Mrs. Audie. She is also having to deal with this pandemic, just like all of you guys are out there in one shape, form, way, or another. So thank you to all of our first responders. Thank you for the people going out there, putting their life on the line, and then putting their life on the line again on top of having to do that pandemic. So thank you to everybody out there. We appreciate it.
Yeah, she appreciates that, and we appreciate your wife too as well, Puddin'.
Thank you. And it looks like UK Wildcats is typical 2020 NASCAR delay under a lightning delay. That might be facts, but at the same time, I think UK Wildcats also needs to shut the lights off, put himself under a blanket, put his head on the pillow, and as we always like to tell him, go to bed.
I thought you were going to say get parked.
Oh, no. No, El Parco's the only one that gets parked right now. But no, thank you, UK, again, for joining in. He's out there.
Go to bed, UK.
RD, thank you, man. He says giggity, giggity, giggity. That's right. We are just waiting on one of our other drivers. Again, mutual respect from everybody in Giggity. We do get upset with each other at times, and there might be a little tempers flaring, words being said. But everybody in Giggity, when it steps up, though, we all help everybody else out. And we're just trying to give it just a couple seconds here to, make sure that he can get back in, get his stuff turned on, and,
join the lobby now. As soon as he does, I'll let you guys know when to accept the invite.
We appreciate that. Thank you. Francis Smith out there. Francis Smith, also as known as NASCAR 88. Sorry, guys, got distracted. The wind blew and made me look out the window real quick. That tree is definitely not bent over right now, but it just distracted me for a little bit. Apologize for that.
What are you saying? It's missing a good opportunity to be bent over.
Alright, he is in here. I will let you know when to accept the invites.
And we are getting ready to go preset truck racing at Iowa one more week. Next week we go to 1.5 miles at Chicagoland, but we are going to finish up 4.5 on Heat 4 in Giggity Racing. And if this wind keeps, the wind just changed direction. It's blowing down the sidewalk the other way now, so maybe I gotta go stand on the patio. Here we go. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, NASCAR. I mean, the NRG, and yeah, we'll get this for a NASCAR race underway. We'll do the best to get, make sure that you get something there, buddy.
Yeah.
We are blue screening, loading in. And here we go at Iowa. I owe her on credit at Iowa. That might be a little bit of a joke for some people who might realize the song behind that, but yeah, which we have no rights to music, but when you vacate certain words, then you don't have to have rights to it. So here we go at Iowa Trucks. Excited to have Audie up here. Paul Bear, thank you guys again for helping me out. Nannerbread, especially with your patience right there, coming back from work yourself, and then on top of everything else, waiting on the other guy.
Just disappeared.
But the 88 just spun in the back.
Yeah, I just saw the 88 spin and one car disappear, but in the meantime, we are on board with the Elite Precision at Nicola Motorsports number 22. He says, "Come look at my Texas bumper."
I believe it was...
Got the 88 in the grass. And the 13 is on pit road. Fast
Yeah,
Camaro.
the
I'm not
13
wondering if
just
the
disappeared off the track.
yeah, I'm not wondering if one of those is Nanners because he set up the lobby, so we'll keep an eye on that. But we are underway. Everybody utilizing that low line, second line into effect. One truck back there in the back utilizing that high line. Looks like that's Sean T too. Sean T racing for the underdog. Says, hey, your guys down there, I'm going to come up here. Elite Precision starting to pull away, looking really good. And the 13, we just got confirmation from Go to Bed himself. Whoa! 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 Whoa, I'm just simply saying, whoa, El Parco. Whoa. You don't pull my name out like that, alright? How? Never mind. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. He just pulled my government name out. That's not good.
It's unusual. I'm sitting back here and I'm watching the Dirty Dog, and he's a little bit towards the back of the pack. It looks like something might have happened in the beginning or something. I'm not really sure. Looks like he's having a problem holding on to the truck. Oh, he's in the wall just a little bit. Yeah,
I'm on
looks like
board
he
with
needs
the
to make some
iPod.
adjustments.
Dirt Dog, yeah, I don't know. I haven't been able to take a look. He's got the 10 truck behind him. We'll get right back there to Dirt Dog. I know
Yeah,
Dirt
he
Dog
looks like
runs
he's
really
having
well
a little
here.
bit of problems holding on to it. It looks like he might need to pit and make a few adjustments.
He was actually pretty fast. He had a pretty good time, but then again,
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if
time
something
don't mean
happened
everything.
in the beginning that we didn't see, if they got together. This looks like he's trying to hold on the best he can right now.
Tire wear on these trucks, again, these are presets, might come into effect.
You see the 88 is back on the track. I don't know what that happened there at the beginning. It looked like he just might have spun the tire off into the grass the first lap.
Yeah, definitely got to be careful about that. We'll keep an eye on that situation. But we are underway, and Elite Precision is just straight checking out.
Yes, he is.
He
He's got
is
this
good.
place figured out.
He's got every place figured out, it looks like.
Meatball's sitting right there in third, and Elite had themselves like a little battle at Canadian Motorsports. On board Little E in the 24 right back here.
See the Dirty Dog, looks like he's closed the gap on the back of the field.
Fast
Yeah, he's
Camaro is
catching
in
up
that
to
13.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate for the 13 to be there, because he is a great truck driver, and that's I hate to see that for him, and I truly do, because he's got something normally for these guys. We got the 98, the Sean T right behind the 4 of Brian SP as they're going to bring him down the front stretch here at Iowa.
Yeah, I'm watching Denkate, and it seems like he may have slowed down to pick up Dirt Dog.
Yeah.
Seeing the other teammates, maybe he's picking them up to take them back to the front.
I'm riding along here in 6th place with Brian SP24, and it looks like, it might be the same thing, Paul Bear. Maybe this tire wear might be affecting them already.
Yep, this track does eat up the tires.
You got to be careful not to overdrive, eat those corners up. But again, the 88, we saw him having some issues at the beginning of the race. Not a contender right now. And that is the guy that we were trying to get into the race at WRX. Not wondering if something happened there. And that's unfortunate for him. But depending upon how many laps he went down with the stages, he should be able to get that back. But at Iowa, too, we know how these guys go down laps quick, too, when in late fuel runs. So let's see how it all pans out.
So I see Dirt Dog got around Denkate.
Sean T,
Yeah.
trying to make that
I'm
high
here with
line
the-
work
I'm
in
here
that
with the-
9 line.
I'm here with Elite Precision, and he has got this place he's got it figured out. He's probably just relaxing, just holding the wheel and just making laps. He is putting time on the field every lap.
And he's very good at all tracks, like you said.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that can sit down and take time with his setup and get it the way he wants it. Or figure out what he needs when he pits.
Mike in the wall.
Oh, Salty
Go.
Tenders around on the front stretch. He's going to collect the 98 of Sean T.
Oh,
Looks like the
What
88
hap-
got brought involved.
Oh,
Is that
well,
going to bring out a
that's
caution?
19 to 88.
I was actually watching that as on
98,
Mike,
excuse me.
and he was the first one to tap the wall. And when he bounced off the wall, he went into another truck, and that's what started that. But it happens.
Elite Precision definitely did not want to see that caution, but he's so fast, I don't think it's going to even bother him.
No,
Here at
he
Iowa,
doesn't
Paul
do
Beer
that
was
for
just
sure.
talking about how tires love to get eaten up. It's still early in this race, but do you come down? Heck yeah,
Definitely.
you come down. You come down
Definitely.
and
You
get
gotta come down. You need
Yep.
them 4 fresh tires here. You gotta have them.
4 freshies and a belly full of fuel here at Iowa. We're going to rack them and
I think I would
stack
just
them.
take just enough fuel to get there. I don't
Oh,
think I'd
yeah.
fill it all the way up.
No, yep. Elite Precision going to bring them down. Here we go. Meatball to the outside. Where are they going to go here? 2 distinct lines. A couple trucks
And
running the
that's-
high line. A bunch of people running that inside line. Go ahead, Paul Bear.
That's another driver you got to watch is Meatball. Meatball
Yeah.
is a dang good driver.
Oh, I saw a little bit of contact back there. Couldn't see who that was. WRX Mike in that 88 trying to make moves on the 45 back there, but Elite
Looks like little E in the 24 is loose in the center. He might be holding somebody up behind him. It looks like.
It's very difficult, you know. I know a lot of people practice this. I'm a preset person myself. They practice the tracks. They know what they want to do. They know what adjustments to make and everything. Sometimes I honestly don't make hardly any adjustments, even to tire pressure, because I don't want to upset the vehicle. But some of these guys went in there and took a big swing at it to try to get themselves back up to the front. As we see these guys going down the backstretch, 3 wide, 15 truck to the inside, 45 a dirt dog right there. Sean T to the outside, literally in a 24. He's not going to take it forward wide. Has the opportunity, chooses not to do it. Sean T makes that work, makes the pass on those 2 guys, and here comes Lily on 24, right behind the 45 dirt dog, trying to use that second line, which we just talked about.
Ooh.
Contact with the outside wall, which brings the 98 down into the 45. They seem to hold on to everything right there. It's going to slow the 45 dirt dog down just a little bit. But again, it looks like Sean T is trying to utilize that outside line. Lily in that 24 trying to go up through the middle right now. And 45 still a dirt dog on the inside. Contact not being made, but certainly pretty close.
Yeah, that's for sure.
If the 98 didn't touch the wall right there, he was really flirting with it.
Yeah, that's that high, wide, and handsome line.
Yeah.
The drive you
Yes.
get off of the corners there, Audie, is
It's
impressive.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just a fine line up there. It looks like the 98's in the wall again.
He did get into the wall that time I was watching him. But when you're that close to the wall, I've done it myself. Get into
Yeah.
that wall, and when you do, it seems to suck you right in, like you can't get off it.
Yeah, it's just a fine line. I mean, it's fast, but it's risky.
Very risky.
Noko said the low, thin, and ugly line instead of the high, white, and handsome, and I'm agreeing with that.
The
Though. Like I
98
said-
is on pit road.
Oh, did he get pushed down there? Or did he not
19,
pit?
the 19's on pit road. The
That's the
4
new-
looks like he's coming.
The 19, that is the new driver for Shin Motorsports, and
Denkate.
that is Denkate, yes. So maybe they didn't pit trying to make it lost as long as they could, but the stage is super
That's
easy, and you
possible.
know it is facts that you will go down at least 2 laps, if not more, depending upon how you come onto this track here, the pit lane, because when you even said it earlier, Audie, the getting on pit lane and getting off pit lane too, so definitely 2, almost a chance of 3 if you're not careful.
Yeah, it looks like the 98. Looks like they might have just took a splash of fuel and were gone. No tires.
Elite Precision, no. He's like, I have nobody in front of me. 1 car behind me. I'm all right now. Enjoying this clean air in that 22 Chevrolet for the Cola Motorsports
Just out for
guys.
a Sunday
I'm
drive,
sure he's looking for the tail end of that field, though.
and he'll probably find it.
I'm sure he will. It's just a matter of time. If the stage is long enough, he can find it.
Yeah, we're riding over the bed of this 22 truck right now, going into 3 and 4, listening to this throttle control. Still not seeing anybody right in front of him yet.
But there is somebody right behind him.
So whoever pitted definitely is a lap down. That should be Meatball right behind him. I'm on board with the 27 of Ipon. Ipon's been looking really strong too. He's on the outside of the 10. 10 goes down to that yellow line, tries to make it work. The second lane of Ipon and the 27. Trying to utilize that momentum. Can't exactly get it done. Hasn't lost any ground to him. Will he utilize it again? Yes, he will. He's going to stick right there. The lower the better for him, he says. He's going to barely side draft off there, even though there is no draft in the 10 car. They don't touch. He makes contact with the wall. All the work he just gained and all the tires he just used, he just gave back.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, because tires here, it's everything here.
It's easy to overdrive the truck battling with somebody and use them up in 2 or 3 laps. Very easy.
And
you have to be careful how you're battling.
I'm looking through the YouTube chat right now.
Oh,
Contact with the 27.
Loose.
Oh, Ipon goes spun around with the 10. I do see us a beaver sighting. We have a beaver sighting out there in the chat. Brenda's beaver
Caution's
is out there. Caution is back out again. Yes, but we do have a beaver sighting. Look forward to Brenda's beaver making his debut. We got to send our thoughts and prayers, and everybody think him and his wife had a little bit of a scare. His wife went to the hospital this week. He was unable to make Watkins Glen because of that, but Beef, we're thinking of you, hoping everything's going well, and glad that everything's going to be as well as possible, and we can't wait to see you out here making your debut for the underdog team at Iowa on Thursday night in preset Xfinity
Noco
cars.
says that is stage end.
All right.
Well, that sounds good too. Caution, stage in, Noco, they sound the same to me.
So they're going to rack them and stack them.
We're going to stack them and race them.
Sounds like Ma Bear.
That's a Ma Bear.
Meatball to the outside, Elite Precision to the inside. Who's going to hold on to what? What are they going to do?
Elite is just pulling.
Elite Precision gets that jump.
He's just holding that line, too. He's already pulled 2 or 3 cars out, second and third place, trying to battle. Meatball goes up to the high line, trying to utilize that, get that drive off. 10 truck makes a move back to the inside. It looks like he does not get him cleared. They do touch a little bit. Meatball saying, hey, I'm here. He puts his hand out the window. Good racing all through the pack. Let's go back here and check everything out. Back on board with the 27 of Ipon. Falling back just a little bit, but got quite a few cars in front of him, or excuse me, trucks, and he's going to try to keep up. Everybody trying to utilize that low line, but that 98 of Sean T is like, I like being up here in the high line.
The 88 dives to the bottom of the 27 there.
Yes, he does, and he does make a good move, but that outside's going to prevail just a little bit. The 88 does make a move, but look at that drive. There it is. See, he's got the drive. He has to check just for a second because of the 24 truck in front of him. Each line here has its own beneficiaries behind it there, Paul Bear.
It does, and the only thing I can't do, I've tried it, and every time I do it always ends up bad, is drive that center line.
Well, that's that groove I was talking about earlier. Yeah. You know, that groove really upsets the truck. So, like I was talking to these guys that like to run the bottom and drift up, they have to be really careful when they drift across that groove in that track that it doesn't spin that truck.
See, I never have a problem when I'm drifting up. If I drift across it, it don't seem to upset my truck at all. But if I'm driving on that groove, and if I'm coming through a turn and I'm into the throttle, it will spin me every time.
Yeah, because when you're getting on the throttle, that's what I'm talking about. If the truck is drifting up, coming out of the corner, you're getting back into the throttle at that point. So you got to be really funny with the throttle crossing that groove in the track, because if you jump in the throttle, it will bring you around.
Yeah, it will every trip. What do you think about them that center groove they're putting?
What center groove? There ain't no groove. There ain't no center groove here. It ain't nothing but a high, wide, handsome, and I don't care what Captain Jessica's put about it out there too. He said it's useless. You know what's useless? I'm not going to say it on air, but that high line, the drive you can get, you can pull 2, 3 truck cars, differing how you back it up. If you drive it in too deep, you can take a chance and clip the wall, which costs you time. But if you can make that high line work at Iowa, it is fast.
It is fast. Like I said before, as long as you don't get into the wall. If you get into the wall, it sucks you in there until you get about 5 truck lengths down, and you can finally pull it away.
I'm on board right now with the 4 of Brian SP, and we're watching that right now. The 98 of Sean T utilizing that the second line and the high line. They're coming up behind Dirt Dog, but as you just saw right there, he pulled 2 trucks on Brian as Brian had to back that corner up to make that inside line. Let's see if he can make it work again. Look at him pull half a car or half a truck out. Yo, he clips the wall, so that's why it didn't work that time. But that high line is fast.
Man, it's just so touchy up there, you know. You just seen the 98 hit the wall. It's just everybody wants to run it, and it's so touchy. It's a fine line up there.
It is, and I will not deny that. Yes, it is. It is super fast, especially if you can make it prevail. But at the same time, you got to nail it. You got to nail your entrance. You got to have your throttle control, and you got to hit that exit perfect. You clip that wall, and you might as well just cost all that time and effort. On up here right now with Dirt Dog. Trying to see. I think Dirt Dog's sitting back here.
Looks like we're starting our first round of pit stops, unless the 4 cars just got damaged. I'm on with Brian, best P24.
Yeah, Brian SP is in at 4. I'm on board with right now with our leader. Meatball has probably 6, 7 trucks, but he hasn't let that elite guy go yet.
I'm back here watching Denkate. He's doing pretty good at holding Mike off. Mike just got around them though.
Yeah, one of your north of the border buddies up there, being Denkate and racing with you over there at Shin Motorsports. Well, excuse me, Robbie Racing. Let me get that correct because I know he's going to give me grief for that. But Robbie Racing, that is correct.
Denkate touching the apron a little.
You got to be careful to do that. Can't upset it.
But that's all I'm going to say about him because I don't want to give no commentator curse. The 15, Salty Tenders, is on pit road.
Strategy being played here. Again, sorry guys out there in YouTube land, guys and gals, we do not have an in-race reporter. Thank you again to NRG for helping us set everything up. The one and only Paul Bear, Audi 757 making his debut in the booth tonight, and y'all know who I am.
Which Audi will be the IRR for the next race.
That is right, yes. So, we're going to have to get him to go back. We're going to have to get him to go from always allowed to do not allowed, because short track racing will make you say things that people have never heard before there, right, Paul?
That's true. And that was
I'm on
heard
board
loud
with the
and clear.
27 of Ipon right now, and it looks like he might be running. Oh, Elite Precision's pitting. Okay, there you go. That explains.
Meatball is, so Meatball came down right before Elite Precision right there. Judging by how quick they are turning around here. So a little bit of strategy being played by the old Meatball.
Yeah, so it looks like my bet would be the 27 of Ipon should probably be pitting this time by. That way he doesn't lose all the ground with fresh tires.
How does that work out?
Let's see. Do they need tires, or are they just taking a splash of fuel?
Oh, here in Iowa, you got to get tires.
The 27 spun going into pit road.
I couldn't get there. Yeah, I couldn't get there in time to see it, but
looks like he downshifted and the truck just went straight left into the wall. He backed it up and took it down pit road, but it'll cost him some time.
Anytime you lose on pit lane, I mean, you lose a second on pit lane, that's 5, 6+ seconds on the track, depending upon which one.
He got together with the 98 coming off.
A 98 being Sean T. in that.
And Dirt Dog just pulling on pit road.
We're seeing how everybody pans out. The 88. Trying to see who that is. That's Salty Tender. So the 88 and the 15 of Salty got themselves a nice little
Elite
battle.
Precision is back on pit road.
So Dirt and Denkate pitted together. So that's two teammates. Hopefully they'll pull back out together and be able to draft each other back up there. And Dirt Dog is exiting.
I'm kind of curious to see where the 88 of WRX is, because we saw him have some issues earlier on how it works. Back on board.
Is Meatball our leader?
Yes, he is, but it doesn't look good because here comes the 22 of Elite Precision making that inside line work. It's the 3 truck, gives him plenty of room. These guys giving a lot of respect to each other throughout the season, and it looks like he is going to go to the high side. Elite Precision, that 22 is going to run that yellow line down the front straightaway, and I do believe that's going to give 22 the lead back. But here comes 3 and Meatball, 2 Chevrolets, Chevy on Chevy trying. Who's going to make it work? Everybody likes running that inside line right now. Meatball right there with him. Elite on the outside does have 1 lap fresher tires. I think it is a beneficiary. Even if you don't like running that second lane or the high line, you got to learn how to do it right there. We just saw it. Elite did. He knew how to pull that high line off right there in the second lane, and he got the drive and immediately dives back down to the inside. Meatball goes right back up to the high side, and he's losing ground again, too. Only 1 lap older tires, but on 3 times tire wear at Iowa, we know how much that can affect everything. We got 8 to go. Thank you to Fast Camaro out there. Fast Camaro, again, unfortunate for him, having some technical difficulties. We got 8 to go in the second stage.
And there's exactly what I was talking about. When you get into the wall, it holds you there. Denkate done the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like a magnet up there when you hit it.
Oh,
It sure
wait, it's
is.
Velcro. If you hit it, you're stuck to it. You are stuck to it. I'm back here. Nice little battle with the 24 and the 27 of Ipon. Ipon goes down the inside twist, back up right in front of him. Doesn't cut off his line, just had a better run. That's what I said. I said that Elite has the... No, no, I don't. Jackson, go to bed. You go to bed. Captain Jack, Meatball was on pit lane 1 lap before. So that makes him on 1 lap pressure tires. Don't confuse me. I know what I'm doing. Why don't you come up here and do it one night there? The self-proclaimed fastest guy in NASCAR heat. On delay, on delay, on delay.
So I'm riding with the 27 of Ipon again. He is trying everything he can do to run down Elite Precision.
Yeah, I'm on board with him now, too. We did a little bit of the boom vision.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dirt Dog will be the last one on the lead lap. But I'm on Boom Vision with him, and when he's coming down the back stretch, he's getting to the end of it, and they're coming onto it. So he's got a stretch ahead of them. So hopefully he can keep her up. And I know he had a fast time. WRX Mike is on pit road. I don't know if something happened or if he's just making a pit stop.
Yeah, I just saw that. We got a little bit off out there in YouTube land. He says, "What's up?" I said, "Ken, I just saw you out there. I just saw you out there in YouTube land, and we're going to look forward to seeing what you got for the underdogs coming up in the custom truck race." That's what I was saying earlier to you. You got yourself a couple wins this year. Looking very well in points. So we do have, again, after this race, we are going to end up concluding stage 2 here very shortly. Keeping an eye on the battle with Ipon in the 10. I do believe that's Indy Wood, but yeah, keep an eye on Just Ken out there. He's been
Just the end of the stage.
Yeah, I think that was it. But Just Ken's been looking good this season.
I think Mike might have had engine failure because he's still sitting in the pits.
Yeah, that's what you get for a Ford. I didn't say that on air.
Isn't that what your team drives now, putting for trucks?
No. Oh, for trucks?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Elite is in the pits too, right behind Mike.
Well, hopefully nothing happened to Elite, because if he did pit there, we know that as a penalty, be pitting with 2 laps to go on their stage. Hopefully that didn't.
The 88, the 20.
Oh, Elite had an issue. I do not see his truck moving.
Oh.
The leader of the race.
Would brothers have had
Looks like
engine
Meatball's
failure,
going to
the
be the
both of
leader.
them?
If they're at the same house, I don't know all about technology, but there is a great possibility about that, Paul Bear. That is unfortunate. Not good.
Because they're nose to tail sitting on pit road.
And that puts Brian SP, I do believe, on the pole with Meatball to the outside. Looks like Brian chose not to pit, or accidentally didn't pit, comes down the inside, lets everybody go. New leader of the race going in the 1 as they are sitting 2 by 2. That is Meatball.
Well, that's a shame for Elite, for something to happen.
Yeah, that is unfortunate too, and there's nothing worse than having something like that happen to especially when you've been leading the most laps, fastest truck out there. Sean trying to hold on to everything. Sean trying to run the high line, touches that wall just a little bit again, sitting back in the 6th position. They are 3 wide for the lead.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's a catch.
Salty on pit lane.
Did.
The old dog, look at that. The old dog up here in fourth. Too bad I can't see him or hear him because he's muted, but that's alright. But he is.
Ipon's making that bottom stick.
Brian SB is on pit road.
But that run off that top, you just can't stop it.
Ipon with Meatball battling. MD right behind him. This is the battle for the top 3. And Brian come back off the pit lane, trying to merge as well as he can, but he doesn't want to slow up too much, but he's got to keep his speed, did the best he can there. Oh, contact with Ipon and Meatball. He's got, well, let's do a little boom vision as Meatball's starting to walk away from it. I'm going to see this battle going into the corners here. These guys have themselves a nice little tango going there, Audie.
Yeah, they're having a nice little battle. They're doing really well holding their trucks. They're doing a little touching, little bit of trading paint, but that's what racing is.
Keeping an eye on everything. Unfortunately, like you just said, in close vendors' cars, you know, or vehicles, they do touch. As a motorcycle racer, I cannot agree with that, you know, rubbing is racing. That is how everybody knows I ended up breaking my back and losing my teeth because some kid wanted to go out there and be a little pompous little son of a gun and wanted to rub, and you can't rub in open wheels.
No, you definitely can't.
Totally agree.
Here in these trucks, you can do a little trading paint. It doesn't really hurt you. You know, it's just short track racing.
Short track racing, that does happen though.
Yeah, I'm back here watching the Dirt Dog and Little E, and they've been doing quite a bit of trading paint here.
Oh, Mute Dog trying to get himself a good finish tonight, racing with your teammate over there at Shin Motorsports, and Dirt Dog's been looking good here the last couple races.
Yeah, he's really picked up his game. Like he's been coming on strong.
Watching this battle
Which
back
is
here,
good for
4
him, 'cause
trucks.
I'm glad.
Again, the 4 truck is not in position contention here. He had to pit as he did start on the pole and pulled down. Ipon in the 27 going to pull the 3 of Meatball right down right there sitting next to him. So 3 of these 4 cars is for position. Brian's just trying to hold on to everything he can get. Everybody, some people's favorite track, some people like this track, and a lot of people don't like this track. It just all depends.
Meatball's really trying to make that bottom work right now.
Yes, he is. still on the inside of 27 upon MD right there in the 10 truck. Brian again off
Oh, he
pace
almost
lap
cleared him.
wise.
Oh.
Little Ford on Chevy crime. Everybody knows who I'm going to pull for that one. I'm not supposed to be biased in the booth, but everybody knows I'm a Chevy guy. Not going to lie. It happens.
That Ford, that 27 Ford looks pretty strong, though. You got to give him credit.
Yeah, he is strong. And he was just brought up from development 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's running a good race right now.
Like
He's patient. He's not pressing the issue.
This may be his third race maybe since he got picked up.
Brenda's beaver, he respectfully asked that nobody hit the loose beaver that is on the track right now.
It looks like maybe the battle that they were just running side by side, maybe they used their tires up. Maybe they're just going to fall in line and ride right now, cool their tires down, and maybe the 27 will make another run at the 3 here in just a minute.
Well, this track is a tire eater.
Yeah, they were battling really hard a minute ago. They might have used their tires up already.
Iowa again, numerous different lines. Where do you want to go?
Yeah,
The inside
and
line
with that-
seems to be preferred. As here comes the 27 of Ipon on the inside of 3. The poor truck right there, trying to pull
Yeah,
away just a little bit.
I was just going to say, as soon as I say that, here comes Ipon in the 27 making another run. Maybe I was wrong. Good battle for the lead, though, definitely.
Everybody utilizing everything they can.
All right. Now, this is a lap truck, I believe they're catching here, isn't it?
I believe so.
So just let's see what happens here. Who's gonna lose some momentum with the lap vehicle?
I believe it'll probably be. Well, I was gonna say the 27, but the lap there pulled up.
It just depends on where they catch him. It looks like he's utilizing the bottom and the corner and the top and the straightaway. So
Yeah,
I guess it depends on where they catch him. Looks like they're both going to clear him on the bottom here. Looks like he stepped up for him. That's a good move. Let the leaders go.
Again, this is a battle for position. I think the leaders pulled away just a little bit. Oh, RKM's out there in the chat party, so now we have to officially end this broadcast. He has violated his restraining order.
All right, looks like they're starting the first round of pit stops for this stage.
Very few
Dirty
clocks
dog.
here.
Yeah, he's on pit road. Somebody else is there with him.
Maybe Duncate, they've been pitting together, so.
Yeah.
Meatball now down to pit lane.
Yeah, here comes the 3.
Yep. And here comes the
Yeah, I believe
24 and
that
little
was
E.
Brian
SP.
ST24.
Dencate. Shanti going to try to stretch it out just a little bit. Let's see how that strategy works out for him. That is a bold cotton, bold move, Cotton. Very bold.
Yeah, whenever I pit here, I always like to pit with somebody, so when you come off, I know it's not a drafting track, but it never hurts to have somebody with
The
you.
27's coming down pit road.
And here comes the 98. So I think this would conclude all of them being on pit road now.
Now we see Shanti in the 98 coming down. Once again, WRX and an Elite sitting idle on pit lane. Two very fast people.
That's a shame too, you know.
Very much so. Very much so.
All right. 27's coming out.
27.
Let's see how this cycles back out. There, look. There's Meatball. So we got Meatball and Ipon back together again right as Ipon comes out of the pit. So I'm assuming that he's in second place and he's going to try and run down Meatball. He's got looks like a lap or maybe 2 laps fresher tires.
But do they have enough fuel to make it? Again, we do not have an IRR for this race.
Yeah, that's the question.
Hopefully for 5, they have, I've seen it firsthand. They do have a broadcast view, but hasn't been up to par yet, so let's see how that pans out. That'll help us out.
Yeah, 27 to the inside of the 3. Looks like he's going to get him going down into the corner here.
Oh yeah, Meatball to the outside, but you don't use quite as much tire because you're not putting as much weight. There's no transfer there too. So
Meatball gets such a run on that top side.
Very much so.
And then
looks like the 19 might get in the way here.
Well, he's trying to stay out of the way, but I mean, right now
they get into each other.
He was almost getting sandwiched there.
Yeah. K did a very good job, though. Again, he saw where he was at, tried to stay out of the way, and he even sacrificed his truck, put it in the wall there. So a very respectful move from Dinkate. As we all know, we've all raced with him. He didn't do anything deliberate.
That was just wrong place, wrong time, I think. Trying his best to stay out of the way without slowing down,
Well, what they should have done was when they were coming up on him and they seen him high, both of them should have went low. Even if Meatball had have lost position and jumped in behind the 27 until they cleared him.
Well, I think what he was trying to do was go to the top, and I don't think he realized that Meatball was coming from behind him, going to try and use the top. So I think when he realized that, he just tried to get out of the way and let Meatball tap the brake and jump to the bottom.
And old British Beaver out there, British Beaver, I don't think he meant to do it, but he put a little Booger McFarlane fact out there. He says, "That's a good job. I don't want to see a bad job." Again, everybody, keep thinking about the Beaver family out there. She seems to be doing all right. Talked to him for almost 45 minutes today while I was at the pool. He will be making his Giggity signed debut at Iowa this week. Won himself a race the other night. Finished second in another one. Was sitting in second. He was sitting in second points and development points before he got the pen to paper. Got knotted up. Coach Matt is 27 with the strong arm. What's up, man? Good to see Coach Matt out there. Coach Matt and I had ourselves a nice little battle the other night at Watkins Glen, and him and I talked about it. I got into him a couple times, and it would definitely, obviously, was not intentional, so no harm, no foul. Him and I worked everything out. Coach Matt, our third place finisher in the preset Xfinity race at Watkins Glen, so thanks for joining in.
And Meatball still unable to get around that 27.
Yeah, I've been watching him. He's trying everything he can do, and that 27 is just not going to have it.
Well, after being racing so hard for so long, their tires might be starting to go away already.
Some people might want to utilize that middle, the second lane or the high line. Ooh, contact being made with Dinkate and 15. I do think that was Salty's. Yep. These guys might want to utilize that line like you said there, Paul. Save a little bit of tire, and then when it comes down to brass tacks and bronze air medals, then dive it in and start using that tire up. Let's see who's going to save on the outside. Without an in-race reporter, we are still a little bit in the dark, but again, thank you to Nanner for helping set everything up after he went to work. Audie for his debut up here. Paul Bear for you, and Maul Bear, everything they do in development. I try to do what I can when I can to get to help Giggity out.
And that's just it, Puddin'. Don't leave yourself out. You do so much for this league that it's actually a lot more than what the rest of us do.
Yeah, don't leave yourself out at all. You're in the broadcast booth quite a bit, and you do a fine job, and we appreciate you having there.
That's right.
Well, thank you guys for having me, and thanks for everybody out there who's got to listen to me all the time. Anything for Giggity, though, man. Just trying to help out. But again, we're on board with Meatball, trying to catch that 27. Does he have anything for him? pulling down to that yellow line, drifted back up, back hard on the throttle. Again, I wouldn't necessarily call it a short track as much as I would, but it's not a mile and a half, too. I call you can't even say intermediate because of what they call mile and a half tracks, but this track just
How
over a
about a big
mile
Richmond?
long. Richmond?
A big Richmond.
Yeah, big Richmond. I like that. I like that. I like that. NASCAR 88, Francis, thank you, man. Thank you for the kind words. Keep an eye on him. He is always one to be watching. He is NASCAR's been doing a lot too for custom paint schemes to help support and bring represent for first responders in certain situations out there. So thank you to NASCAR for bringing awareness and running those cool paint schemes that you do.
I'm riding on board with Denkate right now, and he just came out of the pit about 2 laps ago. I wonder if he's pitting early or was something wrong with the car?
I
Or do
was
they
just
need
going to
to
say,
pit
if he's
again?
pitting, I'm not wondering because of his situation if he's not pitting a little early. So are we going to see one more green flag pit stop? Two
That's what
laps
I
to
was
go.
wondering.
So Fast Camaro just came in. Fast Camaro said 2 laps to go. So maybe he pitted just a couple laps too early. It looks like the 27 is going to make a move on the inside of the 45 shin of the old Mute Dog himself. Mute Dog's had himself a good run tonight. Not trying to hold anybody up, but he is holding his own line. Make the leader get around you. And this should be what? White? Yeah, the white flag? White flag to go? Oh, I think that was it. That
That was the
concludes
end,
it.
Yeah, that was the end of that.
That concludes it. That concludes the I Owe Her on Credit Iowa truck race. Everybody out there, too, they got to know a little bit, they got to know at least what song that came from. But still, congratulations. Very unfortunate for WRX and Elite. Elite was definitely had himself a hot rod of a truck tonight. Audie, thank
Yes,
you
he
very
certainly
much.
did.
Paul Bear, thank you. NRG for what you're doing. Again, we
Thank you
keep
for
repeating.
having us.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm glad y'all had me. I had a great time, but I got to go take my tie off and put my helmet on.
There you
Me
go,
as
buddy.
well.
There you go. Can't wait to see you up there. Please, if you're going to be the in-race reporter, we respectfully ask that you put yourself back on Do Not Allow for that. Paul Bear, myself, congratulations to the 27 truck getting himself a big old W tonight. And on that note, please stand up for yourself. Please be careful. Please be safe. And we got one more race. So guess what, guys? That only calls for a small bye.
Bye.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. We'll see you here in about 10 minutes.
All right.